trust anybody anymore. Harriton.
Julia Roberts, once hailed as America's sweetheart, is now facing some of the fiercest backlash of her career. From a controversial political ad with George Clooney to her unapologetic support for DEI initiatives, she's dividing fans like never before. What's causing this uproar, and why is her fall from grace sparking a larger conversation about Hollywood's disconnect with its audience?
Important thing that we can do right now is talk to each other, not be combative in why people think differently than we do.
Let's dive in. Julia Roberts has long been a beloved Hollywood icon, celebrated for her roles in classics like Pretty Woman and Erin Brockovich. With her charm and talent, she earned a reputation as one of the most relatable and admired stars in the industry. However, her recent actions have put her in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. A divisive political ad she participated in with George Clooney encouraged voters to lie about their preferences, sparking outrage. Adding fuel to the fire, Roberts has doubled down on her support for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, which have become a flashpoint for debate in the entertainment world. These controversies are more than just missteps. They highlight a growing divide between Hollywood elites and their audiences. Let's explore how Roberts' recent choices reflect broader tensions in the entertainment industry and beyond.
Who outed herself not only as a leftist, which we knew, she stole the husband that she has right now. Maybe don't be the voice of the ad in which we talk about, but they're about lying, and they believe this so strongly. Maybe you should have said something a little earlier. Saw he was totally incompetent and non-compos mentis. So you're a big loser, sir. Hope your billions are keeping you happy.
Julia Roberts and George Clooney recently found themselves at the center of a storm over a highly controversial political ad they voiced. The ad urged voters to lie to their spouses about their voting preferences, a bold and divisive message that immediately sparked outrage. Many viewers criticized the ad for promoting dishonesty and encouraging more division in an already polarized political climate. The backlash was swift, with fans accusing Roberts and Clooney of being out of touch with the values of their audience. Critics argued that instead of fostering open conversations, the ad amplified distrust and further alienated people from each other. What made matters worse was that this wasn't an isolated project. Roberts and Clooney have long been vocal about their political beliefs, and this ad only intensified perceptions of Hollywood elites imposing their values on the public. In response to the uproar, Roberts defended the ad by claiming it wasn't about lying at all.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remembers in the booth, stays in the booth.
However, the mixed messaging of the ad left many unconvinced. Roberts and Clooney's delivery, combined with the ad's overtly political tone, only fueled the perception that Hollywood is increasingly disconnected from the real struggles and values of everyday people. The controversy didn't just dent their reputations, it became a prime example of how celebrities can misjudge their influence and the public's reception of their actions. When the backlash hit, Julia Roberts didn't back down. In fact, her response added fuel to the fire. In interviews and public statements, she dismissed the criticism as childish and wrong, doubling down on her belief that the ad's intentions were misunderstood. Rather than apologize, Roberts insisted that the ad was a brave attempt to address the country's divisions, and she claimed the uproar proved how deeply divided society had become. Roberts framed her reaction as an act of courage, positioning herself as a feminist standing firm against unwarranted attacks. She also emphasized her belief in feminism and the fight against toxic masculinity, which she linked to the criticism she received. However, her comments didn't land as she intended. Many found her defense tone-deaf and hypocritical, especially since the ad itself had promoted behavior, lying to loved ones, that directly contradicted the unity she claimed it stood for. Critics argued that Roberts was deflecting responsibility for the ad's poor messaging by blaming the public's reaction rather than addressing its flaws. This fiery response only worsened her public image, with many branding her as out of touch and overly defensive. Instead of acknowledging the valid concerns raised by her audience, Roberts seemed to double down on Hollywood's reputation for moral superiority, a move that left her further alienated from the fans who once adored her.
But am I not a Roberts?
Julia Roberts has been a vocal advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives in Hollywood, doubling down on her support despite growing criticism of its impact on the entertainment industry. In recent statements, she passionately defended DEI as essential for promoting fairness, kindness, and balance, claiming it helps foster equality both on and off the screen. Roberts expressed dismay over the apparent decline of DEI initiatives, criticizing efforts to scale them back in Hollywood. She labeled such moves as despicable behavior, arguing that DEI has been a force for positive change. However, critics counter that DEI has often felt like a forced agenda, prioritizing messaging over storytelling. High-profile franchises like Star Wars and Marvel have been cited as examples where DEI-focused content alienated fans, leading to accusations of pandering and sacrificing creative integrity.
And I didn't expect it as such. I think partly being away from my family. So that was a new element of it.
Roberts' unyielding support for DEI further polarized her audience. While some admired her bold stance, many saw it as out of touch with the frustrations of longtime fans who feel excluded by Hollywood's increasingly political focus. Social media erupted with criticism, accusing Roberts of being blind to the consequences of such initiatives, including the declining quality of major film franchises. By aligning herself so strongly with DEI, Roberts found herself at odds with a significant portion of her audience, exacerbating the perception of Hollywood elites as disconnected from everyday viewers. The controversies surrounding Julia Roberts have taken a serious toll on her public image. Once hailed as America's sweetheart, Roberts now faces a wave of backlash that paints her as hypocritical, elitist, and increasingly out of touch with the public. Fans who once adored her charm and relatability now accuse her of moral grandstanding and prioritizing divisive agendas over the craft of storytelling. This shift in perception has created a stark divide between Roberts and her audience. Her political ad with George Clooney, coupled with her vocal support for DEI, has alienated many longtime fans who feel Hollywood is imposing values they don't share. Roberts' fiery response to criticism, where she dismissed public outrage as childish and wrong, only deepened the disconnect, with critics labeling her tone-deaf and arrogant.
I do think that we are the product of these two people, certainly, and really deep inside we are who we're destined to be, so all those things combined is what ends up in the end. It's not.
As a result, her reputation has suffered, with her America's sweetheart image now a distant memory. For many, she has become a symbol of Hollywood's larger problem, celebrities perceived as lecturing their audiences while being insulated from the realities of everyday life. This fallout has left Roberts in a precarious position. While her career hasn't ground to a halt, her ability to connect with audiences has diminished, raising questions about her future as a beloved figure in Hollywood. Whether she can recover from this backlash or remain a polarizing figure is uncertain, but the impact of these controversies on her legacy is undeniable. Julia Roberts' journey from beloved Hollywood icon to a polarizing figure reflects the challenges celebrities face in balancing activism with entertainment. Her involvement in a divisive political ad, strong support for DEI, and fiery responses to criticism have left her at odds with many of her longtime fans. This story isn't just about Roberts. It's a window into the shifting dynamics of Hollywood, where stars are being held accountable for their actions and opinions in ways they never were before. Her controversies highlight a growing cultural clash between the values promoted by celebrities and the desires of their audiences. So, is Julia Roberts a victim of a changing culture, or has she alienated her fans through her own choices? That's the question her story poses, and it's one that Hollywood as a whole will need to grapple with in the coming years. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's ongoing controversies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out our next video. We'll uncover even more about the cultural clash in entertainment and how it's reshaping the industry. See you there!